I had been in the same position for 6 straight years without taking a single day off. Not sick, not late, not once. When my supervisor finally pulled me aside and told me I was overdue for a break before I ran myself into the ground, I didn't push back. I knew he was right. I'd been short-tempered lately, snapping at people who didn't deserve it, barely sleeping, living off caffeine and obligation. That night, I threw clothes into a bag, set it in the back seat, and left before the sun came up. I didn't have anything complicated planned. Just a drive across a few state lines, a visit with my parents, and enough distance from my job to remember who I was before my life became calendars and deadlines. The morning drive was exactly what I needed. The sky was dull and colorless, muting everything beneath it. The air smelled damp, like rain that had just passed. I sipped burnt gas station coffee and let an old rock station fade in and out through static until my thoughts finally quieted. By late afternoon, the interstate thinned into narrow, two-lane roads. Farmland gave way to dense stands of pine. Sometime after noon, my phone lost service. I didn't care. I had printed directions, plenty of gas, and nowhere I needed to be at a specific time. That was when I passed the sign. It was almost hidden by vines, the paint chipped and sun-bleached. I barely caught it in time to read the county name before it disappeared behind me. After that, the road curved and twisted through trees so thick they formed a tunnel overhead. Light filtered through in slow pulses as I drove beneath it. I rolled the windows down to air out the car. The temperature changed instantly. The air was warmer, still, heavy, like it didn't want to move. When the trees finally parted, I saw the town. It sat low in a shallow valley, quiet and orderly, like something arranged on purpose. White houses with green shutters lined the streets. Every lawn was trimmed perfectly. A church steeple rose above everything else, and a single main road led straight to a small diner with a metal roof reflecting the last stretch of daylight. At the edge of town stood another sign. This one looked new, clean wood. Fresh paint. It didn't list a name or population. It simply said, "Welcome home." I slowed without meaning to. The place felt old-fashioned in a way that didn't seem staged. A man swept a porch. A woman tended flowers. As I passed, they all looked up. I couldn't make out their expressions clearly, but I knew they were smiling. The diner was the only business that looked open. A flickering neon sign buzzed weakly in the window. I hadn't eaten all day, so I parked and went inside. A bell chimed above the door. The smell of grease and coffee hit me immediately. The diner was spotless. Checkered floors, red vinyl booths, framed photos of parades, classic cars, and long-forgotten celebrations. A woman behind the counter smiled before I spoke. "Afternoon, honey." "Sit wherever you like." Her name tag read Edna. She looked ageless, hair curled just right, makeup carefully applied in a style that felt frozen in time. I ordered a burger, fries, and black coffee. She didn't write anything down, just nodded and disappeared into the kitchen. I sat by the window and watched the street. It was quiet but not empty. I felt watched. People glanced from doorways and windows, then looked away quickly. When my food arrived, it was perfect. Exactly how I liked it. Too perfect. "You're not from around here," Edna said casually. "Just passing through," I replied. She smiled, pleased by that answer. I asked how to get back to the interstate since my GPS was dead. "Oh, you'll want the same road you came in on," she said lightly. "That one'll take you anywhere you need to go." The words sounded harmless, but something about them made my stomach tighten. I paid, left a generous tip, and walked out. She waved through the window as I pulled away. The sun hung low as I drove back into the trees. The air cooled. The road stretched on without a single sign or car. Then the trees opened again. The same town appeared ahead of me. The same diner, the same church, the same sign. I checked the clock. I had been driving nearly 20 minutes. The sun hadn't moved. I convinced myself it was a looping back road. Rural areas were full of them. Still, the feeling that settled over me was different. Intentional. This time, I stopped at the gas station. Inside, a radio played softly from somewhere unseen. A tall man stood behind the counter, weathered and calm. His name tag read Hank. "Back already?" he asked. I frowned. "I think I got turned around." He smiled. "Only one road through here," I mentioned Edna. His smile widened. "She's been here forever." Outside, I noticed something I hadn't before. No cars. Not in driveways. Not on the street. I tried again. Carefully this time. I counted curves. Dropped a napkin out the window as a marker. The forest closed in tighter than before. I thought I saw movement beside the road. Something pale keeping pace. Then the diner roof flashed ahead again. The napkin was gone. Edna stood outside, waving like we were old friends. I didn't stop. I drove aimlessly until every road dead-ended or circled back. My fuel gauge dipped lower. Panic crept in. Eventually, I sat in the diner parking lot until Edna came out. "You look lost," she said gently. I asked for a map, directions, anything. She suggested the sheriff. His office was across from the church. Inside, the walls were covered in faded photographs. The sheriff listened patiently, then smiled. "Take the main road until it splits near the old barn," he said. "Left fork'll get you out." I hadn't seen any barn. "You will," he said. "When it's time." That night, I reached the sign again. It looked newer, brighter. The church bell rang. I don't remember going inside. The church was lit by candles, empty. At the altar hung a painting meant to be comforting. The face was wrong. I left. The sky no longer felt real. Neither night nor morning. I checked into the motel. The clerk didn't ask my name. "You can pay when you leave," he said. The TV whispered beneath the static. When I woke, the town looked faded, like a photograph left in the sun. People waved. Children rode bikes. They looped. At the diner, Edna greeted me. "Coffee, Jesse?" I hadn't told her my name. The radio whispered it anyway. I've stopped trying to leave. There's one place behind the church where I can get a signal if I don't move. The town knows me now. When I pass windows, my reflection smiles first. The painting in the church changed. It's me now. If this uploads, know that I tried. I don't think anyone ever truly passes through this place. Somewhere along the way, it decides you belong.